Thank you guys so much for 16,000 subscribers. That's almost unbelievable to me. The amount of support from you guys, video after video, is just amazing. This channel would be nothing without you guys. I wouldn't be making these videos if there was no one watching. So I really owe it all to you guys. Thank you all so much, from the subs, the bell notification subs, the patrons, the people in the clan chat, the Discord, and even the people new to the channel. You were all freaking awesome. So in the previous video, we covered the top 5 critical goals in Old School for more so towards lower or medium level players, and I mentioned the idea of making a high level video for a sequel, and a ton of people wanted to see this, and the video got over 500 likes. Thank you guys so much for that. And in this video, we're going to be covering the top 5 high level goals in Old School. If you haven't seen that video, you might want to watch it first. I'll put the link down below in the description, and then you can come back and watch this video. Starting off the list at number 5 is to obtain 5 pet drops at least, and these are defined as pet drops which can be insured by Probita in Ardoin, so things like a cat and a rock don't really count. And for these pets, at least one of them has to be a boss pet and one has to be a skilling pet for me to have considered this goal to be completed. You might wonder why this is on this list, and there's actually a lot of good reasons. I noticed that people go for pet drops and they really improve their accounts in the process. So for example, one of my longest pet drop grinds was at Venenatis. It took me almost over 3,000 kills, which is well over the drop rate, but in the process I made literally hundreds of millions of GP, and it made my account so much better. I got better at a lot of things too. I got better at tanking PKers. I learned more about PVM, and I also learned to be good at looking for new strategies to optimize things. You could have a similar type of experience when you go for a skill pet as well. I noticed that people who do not go for pet drops tend to stay a little bit more newbie. For example, someone who might just camp Revenants all day because it's somewhat consistent money isn't really learning anything there or really making much progress towards their account. If you already have 5, or if you get 5 in the future, I recommend you just really go for as many as possible. The only reason I put 5 is, of course, some people tend to be a little bit unlucky with pets. I know people who've been doing PVM for years and they haven't really had many, so 5 is a pretty manageable goal, but if you already have that, definitely keep going for more. Of course, this happens to be my personal favorite because pet hunting is literally maybe my favorite thing to do in the game. If you're new to collecting pets, there's a really easy way to get a boss pet. I'll talk more about that later. Number 4 on the list is to complete the Architectural Alliance mini quest, which is basically a very, very long mini quest where you have to get 100% favor in all Zaya houses. The mini quest itself doesn't give many rewards, just a 10k XP lamp and an extra teleport, which is a bit redundant. However, completing all the favors gives you a ton of rewards. Here's just a few of them. It gives you a new spellbook, the Arceus spellbook, which has a lot of good teleports, blood rune crafting, which is an amazing rune crafting method, ensouled heads for prayer training. You can build an occult altar in your house. You can access the farming guild and the woodcutting guild. You can also access the tithe farm and get the farming outfit. You can play the blast mine minigame. You can get the Shazian armor and the Xerix talisman. These are such critical rewards that you really need to have on any account. Now, originally when this mini quest was released, it was extremely slow to gain favor. You could also lose favor by gaining it in another house. But now with the Client of Karen quest and all the sequel quests, which you should do, they give you free favor. The rate of which you get favor is doubled. A lot of the methods have been cleaned up a bit, so this is actually not so hard to do anymore and much quicker now, and the requirements are not actually extremely high, even though it is a bit time consuming. It's also very important to have this done for future updates. Jagex basically uses Zaya as a launching pad for more and more content, so having this favor done in advance when new updates come out is very important. We've already seen this come into play with things like the Kibos Diary. By the way, if you've already done this before February 2019, you can actually still get the 10k XP lamp reward from Hosa, the head architect, at the statue. Number 3 on the list is to obtain a Questscape, as we look back at some footage from 2014 when I obtained the Questscape for the first time. This is a very critical goal because of all the unlocks which it gives you. In the last video I talked about how you should get Barrow's gloves, and that's a very good goal to have, and it used to be that if you obtain Barrow's gloves you're pretty much all the way there. Look here, back in 2014, only 246 quest points needed to obtain the Questscape, so getting Barrow's gloves was basically doing most of that. However, now we have 273 quest points, and it seems like we're getting newer quests all the time. Back when Old School came out, we really weren't getting any more quests. The only ones that seemed somewhat likely to be released into the game were the Land of the Goblins quest and the Path of Glowfree, because those quests were unreleased and they were already partially coded into the game. I still wish they would release those actually, but in the meantime, it seems like we're still getting these newer custom quests which have higher and higher requirements, and the thing about getting the Questscape is you can't just get it and then a new quest comes out and you don't have it anymore. You have to keep doing these new quests, so basically ensuring that you always have the Questscape and have it equipable, your account will almost always stay competitive. And this is great especially because many people take breaks from Old School RuneScape every once in a while, and when you come back eventually you'll probably have some more quests to do and some levels to gain for requirements, and this will make you go and get those levels and constantly improve your account. And part of being good at any game, not just Old School RuneScape, is that you're constantly improving and you're not just sitting at a plateau where everyone else around you is going to catch up and surpass you. The runner-up spot on this list is to complete all hard achievement diaries and at least one elite diary. The reason I say do at least one elite diary is I feel like once you do one, you'll be more inclined to go do more. I'm not sure what to show for this other than PKing people who are trying to do diaries, so I guess they will not have their critical goal completed today. We already talked about the importance of diaries in the previous video, but the hard diaries are really where the best rewards come from. There is so many more teleports you unlock. You unlock one of the best capes in the game in the Ardoin Cape 3, which has teleports, stab bonus, prayer bonus, agility shortcuts all over the place, the mole tracker that will help you get one of your 5 pets. You can redirect the obelisks in the wilderness, which is really important. It's really one of the best ways to get around here. The noted Addy bars are really good for Slayer tasks for Aviancies. You get extra marks of grace from the Sears Village course, which happens to be one of the best ways to train agility. You can make extra profit from things like the extra runes you get from barrows. You can train prayer easier with the Bone Crusher. You get some really key items too with the Western Diary. I said the Kandarin Diary in the previous video. I meant the Western Diary. It is the Elite Void and Crystal Halberd, which are two really nice pieces of gear which you can get. Not to mention you also get a lot of XP lamps from completing the diary, and this is actually not insignificant. You can really use these XP lamps to train skills like runecrafting that you might not want to train otherwise. As for the one elite diary you should do, it's pretty debatable which one is the most important. I really like this one, the Wilderness Diary, because you get free access to this place, which means that you can save an inventory space of coins every time you're in the Wildy. The Western Elite Diary is very good as well. You get a free pet basically in the Chompy Chick, which I basically just PK'd here. Let me know which Elite Diary you think is most important. The number one critical high-level goal in Old School is to achieve level 2000 total. This is a pretty time-consuming goal that not a lot of players have, but it's really worth the grind. The average level per skill at 2000 total is around 87, but it's not actually as difficult as you might think. There's two main methods people go about doing this. One is to just train your skills pretty evenly because you won't actually need a lot of XP in many of them. For example, it's a lot better to train 2 skills from level 80 to 90 rather than to train 1 skill to 99 because the XP required from levels 92 to 99 is very high for every skill, and you only are getting a few levels out of it. I call this method the easy levels method because you're not really worried about the quality of your total level. You're just worried about whatever levels are quickest and you're just getting it as fast as possible. The other method is to go for a lot of 99s, and this has its benefits. For one thing, even though it's slow, you are getting the capes of achievement or accomplishment, and these give you skill cape perks. For example, the crafting cape one is my favorite. It gives you a infinite teleport to the crafting guild, which has a bank a few squares away, which is very quick, so this is a pretty nice method to do as well. What I did was basically a combination of the two. I went for some 99s which I felt were really worth it, such as farming and crafting and things like cooking. Those are very quick skills, and getting 99 is definitely worth the cape. And then for other skills, for example like runecrafting or hunter, I just get it to a decent enough level where I'm comfortable where that is without having to train it further, at least for now. I don't recommend going out of your way to train the melee stats or range past level 90 because if you do this, eventually you will get 99, and any range or melee combat you're doing past that will actually be a waste, and you'll have a lot of XP over 99, such as I do already from things like bossing and Slayer. And having those skills above level 90 actually doesn't make that much of a difference to be worth wasting all that time for. So personally, I would recommend getting at least 299s that you don't already have along the way, because this will make the journey a lot more fun, and then go knock out some easy levels, and you'd be surprised how simple 2000 total is as a goal, and it's very, very fun to go for and very rewarding. And perhaps the best part is you unlock various 2000 total worlds, which are really nice for various things, PKing being one of them. I actually don't recommend doing wilderness activities on the 2K worlds, because these are the worlds which me and other PKers are going to check right away, but it doesn't seem like many people have caught on to this idea that these worlds are actually not as safe as they used to be. Let me know if you guys want to see an elite level goals video. I try to make the ones here a good step above the previous video without going too crazy like Infernal Cape or Theater of Blood, but if enough of you request a video like that, I can definitely make it. Probably not right away though, I'll give you guys some time to get started on these ones. Please smash the like button if you haven't already. It's the easiest way to support the channel, and it really seems to help out with the YouTube algorithm. I mentioned earlier there's a really easy way to get a boss pet, which is the Chaos Elemental pet. It's a very cool one as well. I have a guide for that, which I'll put in the end screen and also in the description. You can subscribe if you haven't already. It's totally free, and you can hit the bell icon to get notifications whenever I upload a new video. You're welcome to join my clan chat, AndrewAJT62, that'll be up on screen. You can follow me on Twitter down below at AndrewAJT. You can follow me on Twitch down below. You can join our clan Discord down below. We're approaching 800 members, which is really awesome. And if you're interested in supporting the channel even further, you can check out my Patreon page, linked in the end screen. Thank you all so much for watching. Thanks again for 16,000 subscribers, and I'll see you guys next week.